My name is Sherene and I'm an EMC teacher and coach. I'm also an EMC graduate in 2018. Today we are going to discuss about exploring the artistry of botanical lines. Have you thought about how floral designers use a combination of lines to express specific emotion or ideas in their work? Each type of line and materials has its own characteristic and expressions. Why are lines important in floral design? First, is a really important aspect is the structural support. It provides stability when you use line to create constructions. And it is also a visual direction or guidance when you look at the lines, how the lines move, and emotional impact as well. Whether you feel like it's very peaceful, calm, or you feel tension or excitement, these are all lines can provide emotions like that. And then aesthetical appeal, that's, you create that through using depth, directions, rhythms, and visual impacts. Not to forget that line also can be symbolic representations, and that depends on cultural and personal experience how you look at lines. The movement, the balance, is very important. So I think we all know that there are two types of line. One is the static line, like this is a bamboo. So the movement is either how you place the bamboo. It can be up or down, left or right, or diagonal. So a static line, this is how a static line behaves. And what about this? This is definitely a dynamic line, right? So when we know what is a static and what is a dynamic line, actually there are messages that these lines want to tell us. Like for static line, it represents order, strength, rigidity, control, precision, and organization. And for dynamic lines, you can see that it really provides softness, fluidity, grace, movements, and rhythm. So we talk about the 5 lines: radial, parallel, winding, crossing, and order and disorder. I'm sure like most of us, when we think of parallel lines, we think of vertical parallel lines or horizontal parallel lines. Today, I'm going to show you a diagonal parallel line. So you can see that I arranged the stems in a diagonal way, and from that you get movements. It seems like, you know, the breeze is blowing. So the materials, the botanicals, they are moving to a directions based on how the wind goes. So this is how a designer can create parallel lines. And at EMC, this type of parallel lines, we call it parallel graphics, because not only it's parallel, however, we create rhythms and movements on top of the parallel lines. So knowing this is a radial line design, let me show you the techniques I use to create this construction. First, I use a candle stand, and actually it has a pin like a needle on top of here, and I cut it off, flip it upside down, and secure it on the board by screwing it to the board. So this is my frame for my design. I use styrofoam to fill up the space. Why I choose styrofoam is because it provides support, like the backing for my lines, as well as because some of my antecedents have to be pinned. You can see I leave the wire this way, and it's easily to get to be attached to the styrofoam. And I use Oasis 20 gauge wire to do this job, because you don't need a heavy gauge or what. You just need to use it to pierce through the antecedent and into the styrofoam. And after I cover the space with the styrofoam, I put the Oasis U-glue strips onto the styrofoam, and I just patiently arrange and place the stems of the epoxidum in a radial line pattern. And to break the radial line, I added some passiflora to give the movements to the static line, so there's a contrast in this design as well. And again, I'm a designer who loves movements and rhythms. Static line is not really my favorite thing. So this is the radial line design that I would like to share with you. So I already gave you two examples of the static lines, parallel and radial. And now the fun part is the dynamic lines. You can see there are a lot of movements in this design. And of course, this is the famous winding line. And for winding lines, you can see that you need the right material to do the job. So I use wisteria vines to create my constructions, and to enhance the winding lines, I use fresh passiflora vines, and also you can see from here is the sweet potatoes vines from the dried wisteria vines, and adding the fresh vines, it gives more movements and life to this dried construction. And you can see that, right? It is a I just use a shallow dish to support this construction. And you can see that by just placing this construction on top of the dish, it's not interesting enough. So I just added a piece of bamboo. You can see that it's here to just elevate a little bit of that construction, so it looks asymmetrical, definitely, and lift up the whole construction from the dish. And the details is because there is empty space in the middle of this construction. So, and the passiflora actually broke from the vine, and I just feel like, oh no, it shouldn't be like that. So I created like a pond in the middle of this construction, added some gravels to mimic the water. So even though you have all the winding lines and the movements is just a little bit like chaotic, right? The lines just make you. However, when you look into that, it calms you. It gives you that emotions of tranquility that we talked about earlier. So I hope you enjoyed the line topic today, and thank you for joining me. If you are interested to know more about lines, you're welcome to visit the line video on the EMC website. And if you have any questions about lines, or you would like to discuss more about lines, join our Q&A sessions after this.